Just a moment. Game so to explore while I'm flinging this everywhere. There's one. It's hot. Why? Mm, mm. Hello, Caleb. Boy, do I have a good one for everybody tonight who watches or watches the replay. Ooh, it's a good one. A really good one. Just, don't mind me while I'm just clicking off so many unnecessary things running right now on my computer that is making it become a hot heater. No. Okay, probably not be enough. Don't know who you are, so let's get out. Perfect. Oh, look, if it isn't Gwen. It's been 3,000 years. Eh, I haven't got them yet. And I'm getting like, where's my Goetic deck, please? Still waiting on that. But, anyway. Mm-hmm. Oreo, iced coffee, I don't care. So, tonight, even though some people would be looking at me like, what? You're going to be talking about the Goetic spirits again? Why not? I mean, the only thing bad that can happen is if, if you decide to, think it might be a good idea to be like, oh, it's a demon, he must be evil. No, but specifically, at least for this way I'm going to be going about it, is I'm going to actually be walking through and actually reading from excerpts on the website called world.com. And then there's like demonology and all these other fancy things about regarding the magical occult world. And all of these have references from Dictionary Inferno, Pseudo Mancaria Demo, the Demonology Goetia, Luciferian Goetia, Lesser King Solomon, at least for the example though. And my example, for the one I'm going to be reading about, is the ever so witty and kind of, how to put this? Like he's very, think of like an old man that kind of like he has that look like a librarian, and then when you like say something really intelligent, he goes, mm, kind of like that. Yeah, and I've actually worked with Arborist a few times, so I have a familiarity with him. But without further ado, I'm going to start by actually just reading from the excerpt on the website, and then we'll scooch down to the actual Goetic part because the website just puts it as a summary. The demon Ogris is a fallen angel and the second of 72 spirits of Solomon. Prior to his fall, Ogris was a member of the angelic order of virtues in hell. He is the first duke of the power of the East and rules a total of 31 legions of spirits, or 31 legions of lesser beings or lesser demons to pretty much work on his behalf and to do what he needs to have get done, and he pretty much commands them. And now when we scooch down to say from the Goetic, from the Goetia, the Lesser Key of Solomon, written in 1904, published year 1904, written by S.L. McGregor Matthews. It is said and quoted, the second spirit is a duke called Ogris or Ogris. He is under the power of the East and cometh up in the form of an old fair man riding a crocodile, carrying a goshawk upon his fist, and yet mild in appearance. He maketh them to run, stand still, and brighten back runaways. Oh, bringeth back, not brighten. Well, yeah. Come on, dummy, come back home. He teaches all language or tongues presently. He hath power also to destroy dignities, both spiritual and temporal, and cause earthquakes. He was of the order of virtues. He has under his government 31 legions of spirits, and this is his seal or character which thou shalt wear as a layman before thee. So, to use that one as an example, he is under the power of the East. So, in a way, reading power of the East. So, essentially, you have the elements. Usually, it's earth for north, south for fire, water for west, and east is wind or air. So air, in this case, would be the element there, and cometh in the form of an old man riding upon a crocodile. So an old fair man, essentially he is somebody who has experience. He may, even though he's old, he knows how things work around here, being an older appearance. But also because as he's an elder in appearance, he may know how to have a lot of fun because usually the ones that are the most old know how it's done. Riding on a crocodile, meaning that he's an opportunist. He rides opportunity and he pretty much commands opportunity. Carrying a ghost hawk upon his fist. A hawk is pretty good for helping to scout and also sending him out to go like see a higher point of view that on the ground can't see. And yet mild in appearance. So mild in appearance is easily approachable, gentle, easygoing, and very approachable. He maketh them to run, stand still. So right off the bat, if you have somebody running away, somebody not facing what they need to face, somebody's not sticking up and standing up and facing whatever they need to face. If you have somebody deciding to be like a one of those ones, like a runaway groom or runaway bride, August will just be like, stop. As well as other runaways, like people running away from home, children running away from home. See here. Hmm. Essentially, like somebody trying to escape prison. That'll work. That's another one. Essentially, also somebody not paying their obligation, like avoiding paying you back. That's another one because it is running away from fulfillment of the obligation. They're running away from it, so they stand still, so they get stopped. As well, they can, in this case, arbiters can also, essentially, if somebody moves too much, in other words, they can't settle down, sit. Same thing. As well, if somebody is known to not come home on time, like if you have a significant other that decides to stay out late too much, hmm stop running out and bring it back runaways. Now here's the good part of that one. Runaways, bring it them back. Uh, let's see here. What is that? An estranged lover, a lover of any kind they want to reconnect with. Somebody who went behind your back is to bring them back, and because they did run away from you emotionally, come back here. That counts. If somebody also has gone missing, pulls them back. If somebody is running their mouth too much, and it's in a way that's actually ruining your reputation because it's making their mouth run and it's causing everything to go away, that'll work too. He teaches all language or tongues presently. Here's a big one. This is probably the biggest gem of them all. Agris can teach any language. That's the key word, language. And now here's the thing. What is sound? Communication. Air. What happens when you hear nature? Like when you go outside in nature, you hear the water run, or like the wind blow, or fire cracking, or stones going. That's sound. And usually sound is a form of communication. It's a language. Like Morse code, that's a language. Artists can teach you how to communicate with nature. That's language. So is sign language. That artists can teach you that too. It's a language. It's also being able to communicate with animals, like it was like how a cat has somehow more audible noises than a dog. Artists will teach you how to actually purr, meow, metaphorically, in a way that makes the cat understand you, and you can actually understand the cat. hmm Here's another one. Do you need help, connecting and understanding anything on the astral side or like a divine being? Hello, Aaron. If you need help connecting to like a certain deity, a certain spirit, or a certain type of spirit or entity, like a divine, passed on daemon, guess what? You're in luck. Argus can teach you how to understand them. That he can teach you their language, so you can understand. He teaches languages. He teaches you how to understand somebody else and speak in a way that you can pretty much have them understand you. He teaches you how to understand others by speaking in a way they understand. And he can help you by translating any of the any of the other Goetic divines. Essentially, if you take Argos with you, and if you've never interacted with a divine like a Goetic divine before, trust me, taking Argos with you would probably be, if not the best way to ensure crystal clear communication and pure understanding without any room for like, I'm not sure if he meant this or that. No, Argos will actually translate for you in a way where it's like, oh, crystal clear. Again, teaches languages. Having telepathic communication, that's a type of language. Even though you're not moving your mouth, you're using your thoughts and you're going back and forth with it. That counts. And also, fun enough, same thing with like music, like lyrics. There you go. Music is language. Because what you're doing is you're using sound and emotion to communicate feeling or telling a story. You kind of need language to pretty much sing and say lyrics. So, songwriter. Bet you didn't think about that one, did you? hmm See? This is how creative you can get if you actually really look in there and really read in between the lines. So, anything that involves writing, communication, heck, if you need him to be like your language professor and better your language and also formatting, because written communication and writing term papers, and that counts as communication, you're sharing and pretty much giving information, that counts. He hath power to destroy dignities, both spiritual and temporal. So dignities, as in pretty much he can take somebody's will and just go with it. Now here's the thing. It being spiritual and temporal, it can be take somebody's belief system and just completely destroy it and allow something new to start. Temporal, snap it, and then something new can come out of it. That one's kind of like point blank. And also cause earthquakes. Now here's the thing with this one. Of course, you can keep it simple, but like, oh my gosh, Arcus is like, making the earth, shake and cause, damage. Just like how in the Lover's card you see like the mountain in the middle between the Adam and Eve figure. Arcus can take anything that's in the way, an obstacle of the earth, or something that is like causing a blockage on the 3D level, and just go meh with it. Completely demolish it and get it out of the way. Or anything that's on the earth that is holding you back, preventing you from going to where you want to go on the 3D mundane level, Progress can help you just get it out of the way. Earthquake causes it to shake. And usually when something gets shaken violently like that, like the earth, obstacles fall down. Or obstacles get weaker and they crumble easier, as an example. It was the order of virtues, but usually after that it's just specifically how many legions of spirits he has. The seal, which is usually the same thing all around, but do not put the circular like the circle around it. Do not do that because you'll trip him, and that's not nice. Now, from the Luciferian Goetia, published in 2007 by Michael Ford, he says this: a spirit that allows language, wait, a spirit which allows the understanding of both languages and interpretation. Now, he gets into it a little bit differently than the other one. Understanding of both languages, communication of any kind, and interpretation. So he can also teach you how to see in different perspectives. Just because you see it one way, maybe he might be able to say, look at it this way, but then this way. Maybe you can take it as this, even like I'm doing right now. You want to figure out some more things that, the Goetic divines can help you with? Well, get Argus here. He'll help you be like, what do you think of this? What about this? What about that? hmm hmm Pretty much reading in between. Agris is a spirit which accelerates the perception of languages and pretty much the understanding and pretty much becoming more like, okay, I'm aware of it more. Communication, magical and otherwise. And here's where he can get even more helpful than like the previous one. The perception of language, communication, magical and otherwise. So magical language, it can help you write spell incantations and help you form magical intentions and get it point blank on the dot. It can help you really figure out how you word it so that way it comes into being. It can even help you try and, figure out a way how to make something be worded just right so that way it's exactly how you want it to be. Magical and otherwise. And essentially, since it's language and that's usually a human thing, communication by sound, because language you need to have the sound or written out. Languages, communication, sign language counts. Even what is that called? It's like when it's like these little dots that are on some things that blind people feel. I can't remember what that's called, but that counts too. He can even teach you how to understand that because that is a language. Even though you're not saying anything, you're feeling it and you're getting, yeah, braille. You're feeling it. And then as you're feeling it, you're like, okay, that's that letter. Okay, and that's that letter. Okay, I understand what it's saying. Do I dare say more? And otherwise. So essentially anything that involves having you express something or say something to somebody else, if it's verbal, behavioral, or mannerism, and even also if you're trying to understand somebody better. hmm In the design of my shadow alphabet, and here's the funny thing with August, it doesn't matter what language it is. It could be something as crazy as I remember there were at, at my high school with some friends of mine. They actually made up a language which was complete gibberish, and you had to really pay attention and really listen to what they were saying. August could just, listen and be all, oh yeah, he did what? They're the boys. What else do I have to say? Yeah, he could actually understand a language that is only known between one person and another. Even if it's just two people, they'll understand it. I made this, and then this is still quoting from Michael Ford's Goetia. I made silent invocations to Argus to speed the communication of the subconscious and the conscious. That's another thing. He can actually have the communication from that what is conscious and that what is not conscious. So he actually bridges the gap between the conscious and the unconscious so both can actually understand each other and work harmoniously instead of how it is usually when you have the conscious like I want this and the subconscious like nope. and actually have them get on the same page. Earthquakes are the symbol of a strong will and individual presence. 31 Legion of Spirits assist in such operations. That includes everything. But now, earthquakes is a symbol of a strong will. It can, but it can also, again, represent taking an obstacle and just shaking it up and getting a little bit like, get out of the way, and have it fall down or weaken it. Scooching down to the Demonology Glacier, written by S. Conley, it says, and if you notice too, from the Luciferian Glacier, there's nothing spoken about runaways or those that are fleeing. Demonology Glacier, published in 2010 by S. Conley, teaches languages, any language, destroys dignities, that was obvious, finding runaways, and now find runaways that way you can tell you'll know where they're at. You can find them. It's the same thing as was said from the previous one before Michael Ford's. But this one is kind of like narrowing it down to showing that he can find them. That's it. But find runaways and then cause earthquakes. So he can find the runaway and actually get the obstacles out of the way of the runaway so he can come back home. It is said that you should wear his sigil after the work in question. So essentially, after after you finish after you complete like the working or like the working that you requested his help with, it is said that you should wear his sigil after the work in question. So essentially, after you pretty much approach Argos with your request, until your desire is manifested or he has given you and helped you obtain whatever you're asking him of, it is either ideal to one, while he's working on it on his end, to actually have his seal on you in some way, shape, or form. Two, wear his sigil. By wearing it, it can actually be something as simple as a ring, or if you really want to be extra, you know, the best put it this way, if you want to go above and beyond, get a tattoo of it. If you want to go above and beyond, you don't have to do that. But doing it that way, that actually will be like a really strong, like, wow, because that way, and after the work in question's finished, wear a seal for the rest of your life. That can be a really big sign of appreciation. And in fact, I've actually have on my lower back two. I know one of them is of the Croatia. I'm not sure of the other one, but I have two tattooed on my lower back. Two of the divines, Hagante and Seket, but they're actually showing their Egyptian mythology counterparts. Seek Argus for wisdom and friendship, and to make your garden grow. Now that the garden grow was in one, and same with the friendship. Argus for wisdom and friendship. So essentially, wisdom and getting guidance and advice for improving friendships, or actually how to better understand relationships more. How to actually be a supporting person to somebody else. How to connect to people, connect on a more supportive level. Make your garden grow. Now we have Argus now becoming a botanist, the one who studies plants. He can actually help you with garden growth and actually give you guidance on how to plant a certain plant because some plants would like, nope, it's too hot, too cold. And even also, maybe, just maybe, he can actually help you revive a plant if it's been close to dying. He also gives advice on financial matters with regards to projects. So, so he also gives advice on financial matters regarding projects. So if you have a set goal that requires a certain amount of money, he can help you budget for it. He can actually help you come up with marketing strategies. He can come up with ideas to help you raise the money that's needed for this. He can also help you file the taxes regarding it. He can help you start a business, like a business project, and as well, making sure that all the tax and all the nitty gritty things regarding the financial, like for example, taking stock, inventory, and making sure that all the money is going exactly where it needs to go, finances of said project, or even like if you're trying to have a release of a project that you've been working on and there's a new product that you're trying to release, I can see he's more than just, making the earth shake and, telling Lassie to come home. And now we are looking into from the Pseudomachorya Damerum. I can't pronounce that, sorry. When written by Johann Weyer, the first duke under the power of the East is named Argarus. He cometh in the middle, cometh up midly, or mid-isle, also known as he appears willingly, meaning that if you if you pretty much invite him towards you facing east, he'll be more than happy to will and come to you happily. In the likeness of a fair old man riding upon a crocodile, and carrying a hawk on his fist. He teacheth presentile all manner of tongues. So essentially, he teaches present, or essentially, he teaches any language that is known in some way, shape, or form. He fetcheth back all such as run away. Anything that has fled from you, be it family, relationship, money, you can have runaway money. Get that money back here. Losses, financial losses, runaway money, nope, comes back. He can get your runaway presidents and get him by the neck and say, "Come back." If somebody scammed you, there you go. And making them run that stand still. So if somebody stole something from you, or they're running away with your pretty much your property, stop, stop. You're not running away no more. Come back. You're running away. You're a runaway. Come back with my property. Thank you. And then Argus will destroy them after you get your property back. He overthroweth all dignities, and he maketh earthquakes, and makes spirits of the earth dance. So, if you have brownies, and if you want them to pretty much get in the state of euphoria, and that way they'll stop messing with your stuff, have Argus just tell them, just dance, guys. But again, an earthquake is taking a state or an obstacle that's in your way, shaking it up and weakening it, making it easier to go knock it over. And is of the order of virtues under his raiment 31 legions. Keep in mind, a legion is at least 100 to 200 or even more each single beings. And now going to Dictionary El Inferno, written by Jacques Augustine Simon Collin, whatever. Augurus of the order of virtues who governs 31 legions, appears riding a crocodile carrying a sparrow hawk. He said to make deserters return. So if you got stood up, if you got somebody who ghosted you, if you got somebody who decided that they're not going to show up, you can actually pull them by the ear and come in and cause enemies to flee. So he can intimidate enemies to scram and tell them to go away. He can exalt people. That one's not in any of the other ones. He can exalt people. So he can make somebody become at their highest potential state. He can make somebody be in their highest dignity in whatever regard. He can make them function at their best potential, at their highest dignity. Teach all languages. So any language, regardless of what it is, verbal, nonverbal, mannerism, or even sound, that counts. He can teach you that. And he makes the earth spirits dance. Again, that one's really focusing on having the spirits actually begin moving in a way that kind of shakes the earth or causes things to move and change, and pretty much makes things a little bit unstable if needed, or also the obstacles. So, really, that's a lot of information by just one Duke of the Goetic, Duke Argyris. That's a lot of things you can do, especially the part of actually helping you learn the language of actually speaking to the Goetic spirits and actually helping you translate them. That's just one example of Duke Argyris. Okay, fine. I'll do one more example. Yes. Mm-hmm. Symbols. Yep. Because sigils and symbols, you guessed it, they count. Okay. I don't know why they did that, but like if somebody's written a sigil, he can actually help you translate it, and he can actually help you understand what a certain symbol or sigil is actually intended to be saying and what it can do. He can he does a lot more than just on the surface based on what's written. You have to read it between the lines most of the time like that. I'm just waiting for I don't know why my computer decided to be derp derp. Okay, we're gonna scooch backwards. Now let's scooch over to, let's see here. I'm gonna pick another Goetic divine. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna see if I can pick one that is a little bit difficult. Oh, actually, I'll actually read in between the lines the first Goetic divine that I've ever met and actually first interact with. My first one. The first one I interacted with years ago. Like we're talking about 2013, 14, and 15, beginning of early mid 15. Here's not the first one I ever interacted with. President Agante. Agante is a fallen angel and number 48 of 72 spirits. He is the president who rules 33 legions. He appears in the shape of a bull with griffin wings, but will change into human form when commanded by the magician. He turns wine into water and transmutes all metal into gold and imparts wisdom. That's not from anything. This is like a summary based on the website. From Luciferian Goetia by Michael Ford. Agante makes men wise by wisdom brought on various subjects. Now here's the thing. Having intelligence and wisdom are two different things. You can know so many things, you can know of so many subjects, but you still can be stupid when, having to use it. You can actually understand on how to do what's best with less risk, harm to you and anybody else. You make the right choices, but you may not know everything. Which one is better? Would you rather have the knowledge but not know how to use it and sometimes risk, trying to be in a cult Jackass remake? Or would you rather know and have the wisdom of not to do something that has a lot of risk and can cause a lot of harm, to have that understanding to not just go face first with anything, but you also don't know everything about the subject. You know to take your time, be careful, but you don't may not know exactly if that's the right idea, but you're being cautious. You're doing something that is best protecting you and those around you. So would you rather have the intelligence, all of it, but use it in a way that can possibly slap yourself? Or do you have the wisdom and understanding if you slap yourself, it ain't really going to do much, and you may not even know slapping you is actually going to be worth worth doing because because you're not sure if slapping yourself will actually yield any kind of benefit in knowing of it. There's a difference with that. So wisdom in subjects showing that he can actually bestow men with wisdom regarding any subject and actually learn how to use that subject that they're learning and actually use it to its best potential for them. For example, alchemy. He can actually teach how to use alchemy to its highest potential and using it in a way that actually is beneficial to the user. But not but beneficial to the user is different from using it in a way that causes just damage. That may not be wisdom because you're intentionally causing harm, but that's up to the person who he's giving the wisdom to, understanding how to use it to its best potential, how to make sure it gets done and worked in a way that it's pretty much in a way that's going to benefit the user. What's benefit to the user may not be a benefit to somebody else, but it's a benefit to them. That's all that matters. And generally within an initiatory context. So essentially giving wisdom for like somebody who's first going into a subject, he can give generally the best, like the foundation on going into a subject and how to best approach it and how to best take notes on it and how to get like a core foundation in any subject, including alchemy or anything of you call science that counts. It is said Hagante makes water from wine. Now here's the thing. Water to wine, wine to water. Here's the thing. Wine is usually seen as a substitute for blood and turn it into water. He can take somebody's life force and then allow it to flow into somebody else and nourish them. He can active. I hate these things. They just interrupted me. Makes water from wine. So essentially, he can take somebody's life force, make it into a state where it can be easily consumed, and it actually nourishes somebody. So he can actually teach you vampirism. hmm Water to wine. Make somebody's life force become in a way that is not hazardous to you, and you can actually drink it to become nourished. That's how you have to read in between the lines with it. Water into wine. Either or, if it goes from water to wine to water to, and wine, doesn't matter. Same thing, you're transmuting. You're taking something from point A to point B. That's alchemy. A goes to B. In the middle part, that's the alchemy part. But specifically transmuting so that way you can consume it, vampirism. But not. And also from what Michael Ford says Rich represents that the spirit may bring simplified meanings of difficult concepts. Pretty much he's really good and pretty much excels in making things, I'm just going to call it for the way I like to call it. He can make things idiot proof and make things that are complicated simple. In other words, keep it simple, stupid. He can actually help somebody with that. And I actually back that up. Not really dry, no, because dry doesn't have any spiritual or any kind of life to it because water is like pretty much 80% of every human body is made of every human body has 80% water and it's made up of that. So essentially blood gets transmuted into to water. Essentially, I just tongue twisted myself. If blood is being replaced by wine and blood has water, so would it be making things dry? Not, no, really it wouldn't because you have because also wine is also made from well, depending on what kind of wine it is. Usually is made by grapes, and usually everything in every fruit has water in it. So at the end of the day, it's still taking it in a way where it goes from one state to another. But if you're going to be doing vampirism, you still have to transmute it because if you just go up to somebody and just go, I'm going to take this person's energy. Okay, well, do you know? Hi, Sidru. Do you know this person has been doing something they shouldn't have been doing? Yeah, yeah. If you also have, well, because you do need to transmute anything you come into contact with, unless if you're one of the rare types of empathics called a sin eater, because that way you can actually withstand taking in negative energy. But that is a different topic. Initiatory concepts that of the art of sorcery. He actually may make things of the source of like practicing sorcery, any kind of occult practice or like ceremonial magic, but preferably anything of the occult sorcery in a way it does kind of link to it. He can make anything simple regarding sorcery or the actual magic or occult practice. He can make it simplistic. It's also said he may transmute metals into gold. Now hold on. By metal to gold, he can take something like copper and make it gold. Okay, whoop de whoop. He can take something that doesn't have value, turn it into something that's valuable. I just hear a lot of people go, huh? Mm-hmm. He can take something and transmute metals into gold. Metaphorically, he can turn something that has no value into something that's valuable. Something that is ignored and seen as having no value and is just worthless to valuable and sought after. That's none of my business. I mean, symbolically, it makes sense. Taking something that it has low value and is not really seen as worthy. Oh, I need that. I want that. It has so much value to it. I mean, it makes sense. And as well, just because also, if something is valuable to you, but not to somebody else, but if it gets transmuted, now it's valuable to them, but not to you. It all comes down to the person. You may find this can not valuable, but then I find it valuable. Like, this is a nice can, okay? And then it just transmuted to the polar opposite. You see this can, like, well, gee, you got a nice can there. I kind of want that can. I find no value in this can. It is International Delight iced coffee Oreo flavored. I gotta get my sugar somewhere, and I gotta stay sweet somehow. This is the best I got. And now from the Goetia, the Lesser King of Solomon. I just don't like saying his name. By S.L. McGregor Mathers. Gigante, number 48. He is the president appearing in the form of a mighty bull with griffin wings. Hold that thought. A mighty bull with griffin wings. First up, mighty bull, sign of Taurus. What is Taurus? The 3D mundane physical around you, your senses, your face. Hold that in mind. And griffin wings. So usually with griffin wings, that's the sign of you can see. Well, since it's usually a griffin can be seen as a lion, in this kind of regard, that really doesn't add much to it. Though the mighty bull, that is a hint at Taurus, but also Venus. This is at first, but after the command of the exorcist, he putteth on a human shape. So essentially, usually when you see he putteth on a human shape by the command of the exorcist, essentially, if asked, he will actually adapt to you to help you understand him. or whichever left-hand divine has that, uh, putteth on a human shape or take form of a human. Essentially, they will adapt so that way you can understand them. They will adapt to you if asked, not command. Don't force. No. His office or his excel point is to make men wise. Now here it just says wise. In other words, he makes men not do stupid things. It also makes men not appear in Jackass remake. And to instruct them on in President Hagante, yes, he is. He is a president, yes, as part of his title. Wise and to instruct them in diverse things. In other words, teach them in subjects that are diverse, many subjects, and instruct. Now, but instruct is different than teach. Instruct is to pretty much teach by showing. Instruction, giving instruction, is actually guiding by showing and also teaching at the same time. Instruction is more involved. Teaching is like, this is it. This is what a pigeon is. An instructor will actually grab the pigeon and be like, this is a pigeon. This is how the pigeon moves. This is how it pecks. And this is what you do with the pigeon. Instruction actually goes more into detail. Teach just points and says what it is. Instructor is more involved and also guides. Also to transmute all metals into gold. Essentially transmute all that is not valuable and sought after. And to change wine into water and water into wine. Again, to take energy that is intoxicating and also a risk to, excuse me, anything that can be consumed in excess that can cause harm, and then he can actually transmute it into something that's beneficial. So in a way, he can also teach you to have self-control. And the stupid thing, battery low. I heard you the first 50,000 times. But anyway, that's pretty much the same thing I just said about the last one. Governeth 33 spirits, and this is his seal below. And then that's his seal. Again, I don't care who tells you to, do not. Then you would probably want to have Saturn help you with that. He'll probably give you the best self control. But when it comes to his sigil, do not draw the circle around it and do not put the letters in there. Do not do that. Don't trap the seal. Don't force it in there because you do. Oops. From Pseudomacaria Deum, published in 1583 by John Ware. Agante is a great president, appearing like a great bull, and haveth wings of a griffin, but when he taketh human shape, he maketh a man wise in everything. So in this case, when you approach Agante, you have to figure out a way to get him into a human, or pretty much have him come down to your level. Otherwise, he'll just, I'm stubborn, I'm not going to do anything, because the bull's stubborn. So you have to convince him to take that form of a human to actually give you wisdom. And change all metals into gold, again, no value to value, and changes water into wine, just like before, and commandeth as many legions as Zagon. Now, in this case, you have to actually take a look to see how many legions Zagon has, which can be any amount, because right here, it only shows how much he has, and there's no documentation in this written piece as many legions as Zagon. If this is the only thing you have no idea how many legions he has. He could have 5,000. You don't know until you have to see. But if there's in this book written by Ware, if Zagon's amount of legions he has, then you can actually see from there. From Demonology Goetia by S. Conley, a daemon of alchemical transformation. Believe it or not, the art of bamboozling originally came from him, Agante. You know, the thing that I tell everybody is like, keep it simple. Whose life are you living? Whose eyes are these? Whose tongue do you use to taste with? Whose nose do you use to smell with? Whose body are you in? Whose thoughts are yours? Who makes the final say in your life? Can you, who actually says how your life lives? You. That's bamboozling. You're taking a state and now you're putting it back in yourself so that way you're not allowing things to affect you. That's alchemy. Something is coming at you, you made the choice to not have it affect you. Bounces right off you. Can take something ordinary or negative and change it into something extraordinary. Like what I said, metal, any metal into gold. Just like that. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I don't know why that's written in there, but that's the same idea. If you're getting something, might as well make the most of it. Find value in it somehow. There's always something of value in everything. You just have to really look for it. Next. Oh, I cannot, I do not know how to translate that. It's only hard if you say it's hard. It's only difficult if you say it's difficult. Just keeping it simple. See here. Oh, I think I have a good one. Let's see. Okay, oh, hold on that one. I'm going to do two more. You can and you will. Now that, I know that's kind of bamboozling, but still. You can, you will, and you're gonna. No if, no if, ands, or tushies about it. So, scooching over to Prince Seer, one of the most beginner-friendly Goetic divines to approach. And according to this, there's only one thing I can read off of. So, according to the Goetia from the Lesser King of Solomon by S.L. Megar Matthews, 1904, Seer, the 70th spirit, is a mighty prince, powerful under Amea, king of the east. Wind, air, east is the air element. He appears in the form of a beautiful man. Essentially, he makes himself come down to your level in a way that's attractive and makes you want to engage. Riding upon a winged horse. You can think Pegasus. But now here's the thing. Pegasus is actually a symbol of having transportation to go into higher states of awareness or to actually go across on a physical mundane level that actually goes farther than just a regular horse. His office is to come and go. His office is to come in, then go quickly. He comes in quick and then he takes off quick. It's to have something go from A to B, A, B, quick, and as well to actually make results come like that. And to bring abundance of things to pass on a sudden. In other words, and to bring abundance of things, all pretty much to bring abundance out of nowhere, suddenly. Think of it like a very, here, put it this way. hmm the best way I can put it is like this. Oh, this card's in this pile, because if not, it's not going to be good. Yeah, perfect. So the good way to think about it is like imagine Prince here is a tower, the tower card, but in a good way. It's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I just got the lottery winnings. Or like, surprise, I'm a millionaire. Or better yet, surprise, everybody loves me too much. Abundance of love, abundance of wisdom, knowledge. I want to know as much as I can within the subject. surprise, sudden wisdom and intellect, or even sudden wealth of inspiration. There it is. Rude, yeah, but that's an alternative way of reading it. And to carry or recarry anything whither thou wouldst have it to go, or whence thou wouldst have it from. Now here's the thing, and to carry or recarry anything. Usually anything is literally anything that exists on the physical 3D level, including the other side. So if you want to actually have, say, like a certain, like say if you made a thought form, you wanted to come back, Siri go pop it back to you. Or if you need to transport something that is very sensitive, and left to Siri and he'll just relocate it. Or whence thou wouldst have it from. In other words, if you need to relocate or go to a certain location or pretty much go towards a location, he'll just fling you there. He can pass over the whole earth in the twinkle of an eye. In other words, one lap around the earth. There's another lap. And another that quick. In other words, he can make these changes come about before you even know it. He giveth the true relation of all sorts of theft. True relation of all sorts of theft. This is a deep one. He can give the truth if somebody went behind your back romantically. That's theft of your emotions and your theft of your heart. The theft of your sense of trust. Stop saying battery low, you stupid thing. Yeah. He also gives the truth if anybody has stolen anything from you, like property wise. He can also help you give you the truth on if somebody has been a two-timer. Somebody stole your other half. He can give you the truth about it. And if any treasure or anything that's valuable to you being hidden, like if somebody is hiding, like for example, if somebody is married to you and they're not giving you the emotions, you can give the truth saying like, oh yeah, they're withholding emotion from you because treasure can be emotional care and love. He can actually do that. He can say, yeah, he's withholding it, and many other things. He can give true relation of all of many other things. By many other things, it could be anything. He is of an indifferent good nature, meaning he will never be intentionally malefic to you. To you. Nobody else. You. That's a big one. He won't cause you harm, but if it's good in nature, meaning that if it's in a way that actually is right, like if somebody's doing you wrong and they should not be doing anything wrong to you based on what you've done for them, and if you have a pure intent, Siri will actually may do anything that you need done to either repair something or to actually do anything that the person who's inviting him or asking for his assistance, he'll do anything. But again, good, indifferent, good natured, like neutral good, meaning that he won't get involved. But if something has to be made right, he'll go for it. And then it has a seal. That's Siri. A really beginner friendly divine to go towards. Very friendly. Very easygoing. Very quick. See. And now I guess we will bring in, yeah, let's bring in, I'm going to now bring in the one that I'm most close with, the one I have the most experience with. Let me just get my materials real quick. Or better yet, let me just quote unquote suit up metaphorically. Okay, there's one. So there's 1, 2. That's not that. That's not it. I just need one more bracelet. There it is. Okay, got almost. There we go. Got one there. I got the other one over here. That's not gonna fall in my ear. Got one over here. Just need one more thing. Going backwards. Actually, 2 more things. I was just kidding. Yeah, make it 3. I'm going to grab that one, and then the last one. There it is. Oof. Okie dokie. Just make that look a little bit more presentable. So, I swear, if this thing says better below one more time, I'm going to throw it off a cliff. So, next, and probably the last one I'm going to do for this example. Number 71. Duke D'Antalya. And yes, this is what his seal or sigil looks like. But again, none of the circular stuff. And when I first drew it, you can tell, I was just instinctively pulled to use colors green and purple. And you're probably thinking, that kind of looks like the colors of the Joker. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see where that's going. But anyway, Dantalion is a fallen angel and is 71 of 72. He is a mighty duke who appears in the form of a man with many faces, of men and women, carrying a book in his hand. He knows human thoughts and can change them at will. He makes people fall in love and can show visions of people anywhere to others. He teaches all arts and science and governs number 36. So, when it comes to Dictionario Inferno, he is not mentioned. Dantalion is also not mentioned in Pseudomachariad Daemon by John Weyer, not mentioned. Jacques Augustine Simon Colin de Plancy, 1863, not mentioned. 1583, not mentioned. Demonolatry Goetia by S. Conley helps one relate to others on an emotional level. Teaches emotional intelligence and heightens empathy for others. So this person can, I mean that person. So Dantalion can actually help somebody who's a narcissist and a psychopath or a sociopath. You ever travel with a narcissist? Ask Dantalion. Teaches emotional intelligence. And also take that ego of theirs and, be all like with it. And now Luciferian Goetia by Michael Ford says this. He holds a grimoire in his right hand. So essentially with his right hand with the grimoire, he pretty much projects. He projects what the grimoire is in, like what's written in the grimoire, which is a grimoire of the high art. Now, the high art can be anything that is dignified, or art that is of a higher state of, pretty much as if, it's essentially in a way that actually shows the higher state of somebody else. He reveals the secret counsel of thoughts of others. Now, secret counsel is like if he can actually reveal somebody's deep hidden thoughts from you. In other words, if there's a thought that's like, is this person really giving me, their real attention and like their real love and all that? Dentalian can just be all, nope, he 2 time he or, and I mean that's how he comes through for me. He comes in and he just like says one word at a time, and sometimes when he comes through, he makes me do funny faces because that's actually symbolic of him having many faces. Each face comes through, does something, and says something, then another one comes through, and it just alternates. That's just how he is sometimes. But he is a riot. Like he will make you laugh to a point where you might have an asthma attack. I've experienced it, and it's just experience it for yourself. Which in literary context means he may provide the magician to begin to understand the common grounds of psychology of human thinking. He can actually understand somebody who may have schizophrenia, a psychosis, mood disorder, psychological disorder, autism spectrum disorder. I do that because I don't see it as a disability, I see it as an advantage. Anything that is of an impairment to the mind or emotions, it can actually help provide guidance on how to understand it. Body language, like mannerisms, and also teach understanding of how, you know, how somebody's just holding themselves and just, just standing still and just like crossing arms. You can actually help teach understanding of that, as well as gestures like this. He can also cause the union of individuals that may be probable, in any words. While Dantalian can be like, just because his arms cross, don't mean he is closed off. He wants it bad. Always gotta, bring in some nastiness with it. Well, hey, you didn't get lit. Don't do it. Mm. Mm. Just, when you just love your spirits. I don't. Stop it. Mm. Mm. Can cause the union of individuals that it may be probable, meaning that he can actually help the union of two people or union of other people to actually have it become able to happen. And a guide to other beautiful places in the world. Now, beautiful places can be anywhere. And this thing just killed itself and turned off. So I'm gonna do this. Actually, can you still hear me okay? Because there's no background noise. Yeah, rip. Yeah, rip to those things. Rip to those pieces of crap. Just like you. Stop it, I'm telling you. Quit it. If I didn't like you, I would not do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Just hold your pigeons, okay? Where did that charger thing go? Okay, good. When you get really, close and actually really much forming these relationships with these divines, sometimes some of them will make, why did I do this? And some, would probably just make you be all, I have nothing to say. You lie too much. I don't know why he's so talkative. Anyway, and a guide to beautiful places in the world. So essentially, any place that you find beautiful, he can take you there. Even if it's something that is a place where it's not on Earth, or it's pretty much a place where it brings you fulfillment. Or some place that is even as simple as like laying in the same bed as your significant other that actually does love and care about you. That counts as a beautiful place. Not bad. You still suck. I have nothing to say. So, pretty much, that's some good examples of it. Of like actually really reading in between the lines. Or like how you can actually... Oh, this? It's actually a technique for how you actually use this sigil. It's a unique technique that I'm not allowed to share. It's just that this helps in this using it in a certain way. I can't disclose it because of the request of the person who taught me. I can't disclose it. But it actually really helps you who get more in tune with the energy of whichever left-hand divine you're going towards. It helps you connect easier and actually understand how their energy is to you. There's a certain way you have to do it, but I can't disclose it. 1 and 2. And yes, so really, that's it in a nutshell. Always think outside the box when you're reading Goetic. Yes, of course you can. It's open for. Got a hair in my eye. While that's loading. I'm gonna take a look at readings real quick. Whoops, I didn't do it. Just reading a messenger message. Lola's energy, is it the same or does it not change? Usually you know when she's around because you'll just be all, I just feel something's wrong. For me, when she's around me, oh, I know. And I can definitely just hear her. I definitely hear her. But it's primarily like a surprise, hello. And when she gets going, you'll usually see me just do a pause. And then whenever I just say, all right, go on. Or just allow her to come through, I'll usually say something like, okay, say whatever you want, dear. Then she takes over. As you can tell, I'm like I guess, medium, and I allow them to speak whenever they need to speak. And I don't stop them. I just allow them to flow. No. Click the wrong button. Both. Both, actually. Planet Mars is known as Mongol, also known as if you're opposed to it, a spirit doing, that to you, make it known. Be like, why are you doing that? If you feel like your boundaries are being violated, make it known and stand up for you. Don't let something just be all like woozy-wooey with you because that's rude. Doesn't matter. It's your personal space, your feelings, and your being. Don't matter who it is. They can't just come and be all like, woo, woo, woo. No. You can't? Are you sure? Are you sure? And that's an honest question. Are you sure you can't do anything? Technically, you don't. You don't need anything. But the Platinum Horses, I see it as aggression, feisty, a hissy fitter, but also strength, intimidating, fearless, hot headed, but also a surgeon, emergency medical provider, ambulance driver, emergency medical technician. I see him a little bit too aggressive and malefic, and he is a malefic because he likes to break stuff. Natural cargo for land, real estate. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is just, if that entity is, violating you, you can just address it and say, hey, you're going to stop doing that to me. I don't care. No, 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 no. You don't see me doing it to you, so hands off. That's all you got to do. It does it again. Nope. Mm-mm. Stick your ground. Just because, it's on a different plane, it still doesn't give it the right to mess with you. And it doesn't give you the right to be violated. No matter who or what it is. Just because it doesn't have a physical body doesn't mean that, it can do whatever it wants to you. No. Mm-mm. If it had its own body, maybe that, maybe it should worry about itself. And not be rude and disrespectful to you. Because I know for one thing, I bet you it wouldn't like being woozy-woo handled itself. So, this is like, level 1 human stuff. Like a child stuff. Like, most likely spirits or entities, they're not new here. Don't you kind of think they would know that, like, level 1? Like, okay, this is me, and I can't be, inconsiderate of somebody else and just keep poking them. Okay, I know not to do that. But what they say, common sense is getting less common. And on the other side, it's still the same thing. Common sense sometimes is not really that prevalent on that side. It is what it is. Don't let anything disregard you and not make you feel like you don't have the ability or you can't defend yourself. Flip it off and tell it to piss it. It is what it is. Nothing wrong with that. That was an environment that kept me up. No. I don't either. That's just like bang bang, make that noise stop. Many times. That's like me every time when the fireworks go. Bang bang, please make it stop. Out out out. No 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 no. Not even that, because I would instantly get annoyed by it. It's just like, how can you people enjoy hearing popping noises and lights going bang? I don't get it. That's just me though. Why would you shoot fireworks in daylight? Wow, bang! Nothing happened. Critical fail on that one. Hello, double violet. I mean, violet velvet. Double violet. Fail. Critical fail on that one. Why? Why would you set off fireworks in the forest? I don't even know anymore with dimwits like that. I quit. Yep, and big oopsie. Yep, in that moment I would just be like, oh, did they get trapped and they, died in the fire? Well, don't know what to say, but whoops, that's what happens when you do stupid things. You get a game over screen. It's kind of dark, but don't care. You should probably work with Nix too, by the way, while I'm thinking about it. Nix. It actually, funny enough, Nix actually helps you see without your eyes, including psychic ability of any kind. So, Violet, when it comes to finding more resources regarding love, my number one suggestion is looking at Kendra Ravenmoon's channel and watching her video about love. That's the best one I got. I haven't read any books. Everything else has been personal interaction with her. And you're probably wondering, but where did you learn all the stuff you learned? Well, quite simply, from her herself. From what she's told me. Mm-hmm. Yes. She pretty much has into my head all that she's wanting to put in my head, I guess, and know about. Best resource. The being herself. No. I couldn't even try. No. But anyway, this. Funny enough, if you know the trading card game Yu-Gi-Oh. Mm-hmm. No, not. My hands are not that talent, not that precise. But if you know, actually take a look up and Google the Yu-Gi-Oh monster Dark Elf. That's this Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Just that this depiction of the monster, I think it actually fits love perfectly. Just absolutely perfectly. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. I was the same way. Wanting to be like, oh, am I doing this right? Usually the best thing to do is just to go for it. Okay, 9 minutes. I'm not leaving the stream yet now. 9 minutes until I have to set off an attention candle. And boy, is it going to be a not so nice one. Small birthday taper size. It's not going to be a nice one. And like I say, as well, should have not been an idiot to whoever's getting hit with this. Mm-hmm. Let's just say it's kind of let's just say it kind of is actually like turning somebody into a direction that they need to turn to. And they need to be going in a direction that has to be pushed to. They kind of need to go upside the head. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, for Venus, there's so many things. There's far too many, and I would probably talk my head off. There's just so many. Oh well. Yes, blue skies. In fact, yes. He's actually the one I'm the most close to, and the one that's also the most, I mean, I would put, if you actually look back into like how, like the playback, you'll actually see when I actually speak talking about him and how he just came through, and also kind of almost embarrassed me on camera live. Yeah, he was just like, oh, I'm gonna come in and steal the show. That made me do it. Well, why? Well, since we have a fellow one that goes through the left-hand path and actually gone towards him, why don't we, fine, I'll bring him out again. Okay, you. Don't you even think about it. Here's the necklace I wear whenever, I go, getting involved in anything. I'm not sure who Pangu is, so I got nothing on that one. We have amethyst, jade, sodalite. All the way up until screen jade again. I wear this. Don't pull the hair. Where's the two bracelets? The almost identical thing for bracelets. Again, he's already trying to say hi, and he's really pulling at me. But hold on, mister. It's nice to do a show and tell first, so hold on. Here's the focus point I hold on to. It is an amethyst, clear quartz, and then it goes all the way up until jade, amazonite. Everything all the way up to the jade at the end right here. All of these are pearl. Every single one of these is pearl. From the amazonite all the way up to here, green. This whole bit right here is pure pearl. And yes, that's every pearl I have. So he got all my pearls, and that says something. And then at the very top of the rest of it all, that is selenite. Usually what I do is I just hold it in the left hand, like that. And this is how I did a seal. And yes, purple and green. Of all the colors, who does that remind you of? The Joker. He's trying so hard to just come in and say, oh, nice to see you again. Hijacked. Stop tickling the back of my head. Stop it. He just started giggling at me. He's trying so hard to come through, just out of nowhere. Trying so hard. He's tickling me. Stop it. Stop it. But anyway. Yeah, I love Dentalian. He is a riot, and he makes me laugh a bit too much. To the point I was having an asthma attack. Fine, let's go. Do you think? Huh, am I the first to take your breath away? Hey, it could have been a woman. Boy, stop it. And he's just pointing and laughing at me, and I'm looking right at him. And he's like making funny faces at me. And now he's waving like this. Right at me, and he's looking right at me, and he's trying so hard to make me laugh, and I'm not gonna do it. Stop it. As if any of you have seen the Animaniacs, like from Warner Brothers, like there's a guy there's one that's with brown pants, and then there's one with a blue shirt and a red baseball cap, and then one with a pink dress. Yeah, that's how he acts. And literally, what made me just kind of chuckle with a high pitched was he literally moved one of his heads, and it did this right at me, and I'm like. So for those of you, well, not really those of you now, because yeah, I don't think any of them will be alive. But to those that actually say that demons are actually meant to really to cause you harm, well, hey, Dentalian will give you an app workout at least. It'll make you laugh a lot. I mean, that's a good thing. He's still making those funny faces at me, and I cannot stop looking that way because he's gonna stop. Well, you know what they say. Or at least from what he says. So, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't be doing this. Egg. Rude. It's not rude if it's true. I quit. I have nothing to say. One simply does not, bond so close to any of the left-hand divines when they actually make you almost laugh yourself to death. Maddie, enough of the faces, dude. Nothing to say, no more. Stop it. So for probably gonna have to end it here, and I need to get some water, and I gotta go to sleep. I gotta work in the morning. But anyway, see you all later on the next one, and we'll see if an Italian will gank that one. Maybe. Stop.